Hey everyone, so today me and the kids are out exploring Vickery Creek Trail. It is located here in Roswell, Georgia, and this is one of the most popular hiking spots in the area. And one thing I really like about it is that it is completely free. So if you're looking for something to do with your kids or even just by yourself, you don't want to, spend the money, this is a really good option. So now it is known for its scenic views, historic ruins, shaded trails, and a really beautiful waterfall. And honestly, I've been looking forward to coming here because sometimes you just need a place where you can slow down, get some fresh air, and enjoy the moment. So today we're going to walk the trail, show you what to expect, and just bring you along with us. So we enter through the Mill Street access point, which is one of the main entrances. There are 2 free parking lots here, plus a couple of restricted parking areas. So just be sure you're reading the signs before you park. We got here around 10 a.m. and I'm not gonna lie, it looked, completely full at first. And for a second, I was like, okay, we might have to turn around and, go find something else to do. But one thing I noticed is that cars move pretty quickly here. People are constantly leaving and coming in. So even though it looked packed, we only had to wait about 5 minutes before a spot opened up for us. So if you come and it looks full, I would definitely say give it a few minutes before you leave. You'll probably find something.
Uh-huh.
And from the parking lot, it's a really short walk to the trail entrance, which, makes it pretty easy, especially if you have kids. Now, as soon as you enter the trail, you'll come up on your first fork. This is where you have to decide, what type of experience you want. If you go to the left, this is a much shorter route straight to the waterfall. So, if you're trying to get there quickly, that would be your best
The
option.
seal is really,
But if you
really,
take the
really,
right
really
like we
steep.
did, it is a longer route. But it gives you it gives you more to see along the way. And honestly, with kids, I actually prefer the longer route because it gives them more time to explore, ask questions, and it does not feel like it's rushed. Also, if you go to the right, that's where the bathrooms are. So you will go down the hill you saw us walk down, and you would like go and make like a split left before you go over the bridge. It was very important. It's very important, especially when you have kids. So it kind of gives them the opportunity to go use the bathroom before you guys start walking. Now, just a reminder, the trail runs from, of course, up to 5 miles. So depending on which route that you decide to take or which trail that you decide to take, you're running into maybe up to 5 miles. But they do have maps all throughout the area as the trails, start to split. You will see maps all over the place. And the good thing is, even if you go that way, you can still loop around and make it to the waterfall without having to come all the way back.
Going down the stairs?
As you keep walking, you'll come up to a bridge. You can go ahead and cross that. Right after that, there are stairs, and once you get to the top, you can go ahead and take a left. And from there, you'll start walking alongside the river. And this is honestly one of my favorite parts because it's, really peaceful. You can hear the water, you can feel the breeze, and everything is pretty shaded, so it doesn't feel too hot. Now, quick tip is that if you're walking the same direction as the water's flowing, you're actually going the wrong way, especially if you came here specifically just to see the waterfall and you want to take the long way. You want to be walking against it toward the sound of the waterfall, and the closer you get, the louder the water gets. So, it kind of guides you without you even realizing it. And moments like this, I really enjoy it because, you're just slowing down, you're not rushing, and you're just being present in that moment. There are also a few spots along the way where you can stop by the water. We found a couple of places where the kids could step in safely. The water is pretty shallow in those areas, usually around the ankles to knee height. So it's perfect for just cooling off a little bit. And honestly, this ended up being, one of the favorite parts. Sometimes it's not, even about the destination and these little moments in between. Just letting them play, hearing them laugh, and not worrying about rushing to the next thing. As you keep going, you'll come across the Roswell Mill ruins. These go all the way back to the 1800s, and they used to be part of a working mill. And I always think, it's interesting how places like this still exist. You're walking through nature, but at the same time, you walking through a piece of history. And it kind of makes you pause for a second and just imagine what this place used to look like.
I don't know if y'all can see it now, but it's a big waterfall right here.
Overall, the trail is pretty easy to moderate. There are some stairs and a little elevation, but nothing too difficult. And when we came, there were people around, but it didn't really feel crowded at all. This is definitely a great spot for families. There's space to explore, places to relax, and just enough activities to keep kids engaged without it being too much. All right, guys, so that's our visit to Vickery Creek Trail. If you're ever in the Roswell area, I definitely recommend checking it out, especially if you're looking for something free and peaceful to do. So I really appreciate you guys for watching, and we will see you on our next adventure.